Hi everyone, hope all is well. I just wanted to share with you a quick thought on this week's Parsha, this week's Torah portion, which is actually a double portion, Tazria, Metzorah. So the focus this week is the process of Tzara. So what is Tzara? Tzara is a physical sign on a person's body which represents a spiritual illness. And there's many different types of spiritual illnesses that this might represent, but the most common one that's referred to by the commentaries is that this person who gets tzaras is because they speak lashon hara, they speak gossip and slander and just not nice talk about other people. And it talks through the process of how we know that he has this tzaras disease, if you will. And I just want to focus on something interesting that we see from the process of his purification, which when the whole thing's over, he brings the whole sacrifice, and that's the end of the story for him. Now, in that sacrifice, he brings birds, and the sages tell us the reason why he brings birds is because birds chirp a lot, and there's a message to him: stop talking so much, don't keep yapping on. And he also brings a little string and a huge piece of cedar wood to represent, you think you're so great like a cedar wood, you should humble yourself to be like a string. And it's very interesting because there's all these different physical things which symbolize messages that he needs to learn from this story to move forward in life. But we never actually find that the Kohen, the person taking him through the sacrifice, sits him down and says, you made these mistakes, this is the lesson you need to learn moving forward. That never happens. He never gets the talk. All that he does is he brings sacrifices, and he's supposed to learn subtle lessons from the method in which he brings the sacrifice as to how to move forward in his life. And I think that itself is a very deep lesson for us. I think we often think in terms of the way we teach others, the way we learn ourselves, that the greatest lessons are when somebody sits us down and tells us point blank, you did ABC wrong, you should be doing XYZ. Or, you think bad about yourself, you should think good about yourself, etc., etc. We think that all that is best portrayed to us when somebody sits us down and tells us those words. But the real truth is that these lessons are best learned when we see something in life which shows us this lesson, and we look at that thing and extract the lesson ourselves from that. And this person who had tzaras, he's not going to move forward knowing this lesson because the Kohen sits him down, gives him a pep talk and says, you did this wrong, this is what you need to do right, and now move forward in life. He learns these lessons because he brings a sacrifice, and there's items in his sacrifice, and he says, oh, that's big, that's small, maybe I think too much of myself, I should think less. That's a bird which chirps a lot, maybe I talk too much. That's actually what makes him learn the lesson the most. So this is something we need to know for ourselves in terms of how we learn lessons. We can't wait for other people to point blank tell us everything in life. We have to pick up on the nuances in life and try and get the hint and move forward by extracting the message ourselves. And this is also something for us to know in terms of what we want to teach other people. Sometimes people aren't going to learn the lesson by us point blank telling them everything they need to know. They'll better learn the lesson by, putting the facts in front of them and let them extracting the lesson themselves. Thank you. Have a great Shabbos.